Can money buy happiness? Hi, my name is Joseph. My family has reached financial freedom at age 30. Like many of you, we often question the relationship between money and happiness. Conventional wisdom suggests that money can't buy happiness, but I want to use data and research to answer this age-old question. Today's video is long, but every minute in here is worth gold. Having worked as an investment analyst, I can't help but take this subject from an analytical and scientific perspective, rather than a philosophical one. In answering the question, can money buy happiness? We'll first dive deep into two researches. A well-known study from 2010 shows that people feel happier the more money they make, but only up to about $75,000 a year. A new study shows people's well-being rises with the amount of money they make even beyond $75,000 a year. Next, we'll bring together these two seemingly contrary researches and answer the question, does happiness plateau above $75,000? At the end of this video, I'll infer a few conclusions and suggest 5 concrete ways you can buy happiness, and most of them are free. Money is not the only contributor to happiness. Before I talk about money and happiness, let me first establish this. People overemphasize the effects that money has on happiness. In fact, social relationships and connections are the most important contributors to happiness. Other studies have shown that when people have jobs that give them meaning or purpose, they're happier, regardless of how much money they make. Nevertheless, people perceive money as an important contributor to happiness. We'll forget other contributors for a while and just look at money. How is happiness measured? Let's talk about how we measure happiness. While measuring happiness is both a science and an art. Happiness can be measured as experienced well-being and evaluative well-being. Experienced well-being is people's feelings in the moment, during the day. Evaluative well-being is people's evaluation of their lives when they pause and reflect. To directly measure experienced well-being requires collecting real-time data in the midst of people's everyday lives. This is difficult to do at scale. Most researchers measure evaluative well-being by surveying people how they remember feeling during some time in the past. Let's start with an older research. A 2010 research by Princeton University analyzed more than 450,000 responses in 2008 and 2009. These responses are plotted in this chart, showing the relationship between income and well-being. For 8 income groups, each dot on the thinner dashed lines represents the average fraction of people experiencing positive affect, not being blue and stress-free, which are 3 measurements of experienced well-being. The dots on the thicker dashed line represent the Cantor ladder measure of evaluative well-being. When income rises in logarithmic scale, evaluative well-being rises steadily. Experienced well-being also rises with log income, but there's no further progress beyond an annual income of about $75,000. In other words, money buys evaluative well-being and experienced well-being at all income levels except experienced well-being beyond $75,000. One interpretation of this result is that income below $75,000 allow people to satisfy basic needs, leading to concrete improvement in their daily experiences, that is experienced well-being. But that beyond this point, income only matters when people pause and reflect on their lives, that is evaluative well-being. Perhaps $75,000 is a threshold beyond which further increases in income no longer improves individuals' ability to do what matters most to their experienced well-being, such as spending time with people they love, avoiding pain and disease, and enjoying leisure. What's interesting is that they found that experienced well-being and evaluative well-being correlate to very different things. Here are a few observations. Being alone and headache are really bad for positive affect, blue affect, and stress. Being old and the weekends really help decrease stress. Life evaluation, or ladder in this table, correlates to high income, being insured, and being old. Being a graduate correlates to high life evaluation but also to high stress. Being religious won't shield you away from getting blue, but can help you to be positive and less stressed. Being female is stressful. Having children is stressful. Being a caregiver is stressful. Being healthy is paramount for your experienced well-being and evaluative well-being. So, this 2010 research concludes that yes, money buys evaluative well-being, but for experienced well-being, money's influence on happiness plateaus above $75,000. Now let's take a look at recent research from Wharton that is seemingly contrary to previous influential work. This study concludes that there is no dollar value plateau at which money's importance lessens. For this new study, researchers had more than 33,000 employed people ages 18 to 65 use a smartphone app that prompted them to check in on their emotions throughout the day. The app asked them to rank, how do you feel right now, experience well-being, and overall, how satisfied are you with life, evaluative well-being. The findings are based on 7 years of real-time data collection. The data show that the relationship between income in log scale and both types of well-being were strikingly linear. This basically means that all forms of well-being continued to rise with income across a wide range of income levels, and it didn't plateau at $75,000 a year. There was no dollar value at which it stopped mattering to an individual's well-being. Now here comes the deeper question. Are larger incomes associated with feeling more good, less bad, or both? This study finds out that large incomes were associated with significantly higher levels of all positive feelings and significantly lower levels of all negative feelings. Again, for those who want to dig deeper, multi-level regression results found a significant three-way interaction between income category above or below $80,000, and feeling balance, positive versus negative. Differences in income below $80,000 were comparatively stronger in reducing negative feelings, while differences in income above $80,000 were comparatively stronger in increasing positive feelings. To put in layman's terms, when you're less poor, you feel less bad. When you're richer, you feel better. Higher income earners are happier, in part because of increased sense of control over life, the researcher says. When you have more money, you have more choices about how to live your life. So again, this recent research concludes that yes, money buys both evaluative well-being and experience well-being with no plateau at any level. Does happiness plateau above $75,000? So both researchers agree that evaluative well-being or life satisfaction increases with log income linearly across income levels. But for experience well-being or emotional well-being, does it really plateau after $75,000? The biggest difference between these two researches is the scale used to measure experience well-being. The studies that found a plateau used a dichotomous binary yes or no measurement of experience well-being, which means there is no room left to register improvements once the higher of the two levels is registered. The most recent study used a continuous scale to measure experience well-being. This basically means that the new study had ample headroom to detect variation in experience well-being above $75,000, while the study finding plateau did not have that headroom. Also notice how the old research collected data during 2008 and 2009, the height of the financial crisis, where high earners are most exposed to weak stock market and housing market. That might have an adverse impact on positive effect, blue effect, and stress, the three aspects of experience well-being, and thus lowers the score on experience well-being for high income and creates a plateau. So it is reasonable to conclude that experience well-being continues to rise above $75,000 without a plateau, according to the more current research. Key takeaways. The biggest takeaway is that the relationship between money and happiness is statistically significant but not as strong as other contributors. That simply means money is only a modest contributor of happiness. If you want to be happy, also focus on things like your health and relationship. The next dollar you make become less impactful on your happiness as your income increases. Happiness rises linearly on a log scale of income. That means doubling the income from $20,000 to $40,000 has the same effect as doubling the income from $200,000 to $400,000. It takes a lot more money to increase happiness at higher income levels. Money is very useful in reducing pain and lower income levels. This is consistent with the finding that larger incomes below $80,000 had a stronger association with reduced negative feeling. Higher income gives people more control over their lives. This is evidenced by that positive feeling rose more evenly across the entire income range, even had a directionally steeper association with income above $80,000. Higher income addresses financial insecurity and time poverty. Although money might be good for happiness, the research found that people who equate money and success were less happy than those who didn't. Also, people who earned more money worked longer hours and felt more pressed for time. So don't equate money with success. How to buy happiness. Here is how you can use your money to buy happiness. Buy time. Busy people tend to experience greater stress, health issues, and less likely to help others. When you use money to buy time by outsourcing less important things, you can focus on more important things like being active and making social connections. By experience, a study published in the journal Applied Research of Quality Life showed a major spike in happiness lasting about 8 weeks during the planning stage of vacation, as people enjoy the sense of anticipation. Another study shows a boost in happiness after vacation, as people remember the experiences they had. By relationships, I'm not suggesting you to literally go out to buy friends, but instead, with the freedom that money provides, you have more time to develop social connections. I'm talking about the 1 or 2 truly significant relationships, and then maybe a dozen people with whom you have great affinity and interact with frequently. By health, if you go back and look at what contributes to happiness, health is a huge contributor. Don't smoke, take care of your brain, heart, and emotions. Be active and enjoy your body and health to the fullest. By meaning, you will realize that money is a means to an end, to better your quality of life, to better the world, and facilitate change and impact. Finding your purpose and meaning in life goes a long way toward happiness than money will ever do. Can money buy happiness? Yes, but money buy less happiness than you think. Can more money buy more happiness? Yes, but to buy more happiness, it will cost a lot more money. How can you buy happiness without breaking the bank? By time, experience, relationship, health, and meaning. So that's all. If you have watched till the end of this video, thank you. I hope that was informative and inspirational. I'd love to hear from you, so please comment below. Also, you can help me reach more audience by sharing this video with others. Like and subscribe. Be sure to check out the rest of my content on my website, richlyeverafter.com, or my YouTube channel. I'll see you next time.